Hello Gundam fans, MobileSuit0302 here, and well, hey there, 1-to-140 Trans Am 00, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Oh my gosh! So obviously, for my terrible acting and intro skills, I have completed the 00 from the Perfect Grade 1-to-60 00 Riser kit. I don't have the riser done. I do have most of his weapons, and of course, the 00, and just look at him. He dwarfs, the 1-to-160, or 1-to-144. Wow. He definitely feels a lot chunkier than the 1-to-144 is. But let's get into some stuff about him. So, go on over there. First of all, this guy is really, really hard to pose. They give you locking mechanisms in the lower kneecaps here, and this basically where all the circles are. But they're just, it's kind of hard to get them to move freely. Like, it's a great idea, and I love how they have them lock like that, but especially here in the arms, they just don't work. Yeah, they start to fall down really easily. And you can see it's going. It's going. So, I don't know. It was a great idea. I like the way they were, thinking of it, but it just doesn't really work well, and it tends to slip a lot. See? And it's not really in here. It's in this shoulder where the problem is. So maybe they should have thought about that. But anyways, continuing on with this kit, it has, of course, the weapons here and their big form, and we'll get into those. Whoops. Let's see what I mean by balance issues. This guy, he just doesn't want to stay still. It's really hard to get him to stand, and when he does, normally he looks kind of silly. But anyways, all the articulation is mostly there. We've got the joint in the chest, the head will rotate up and down. This back piece will fall off. The GN drives here will move. They'll go up, swivel. And they keep turning on prematurely. But anyways, we can go up here like that. See, here's another one of those lock joints, and you have to move the GN drives out of the way, move his shoulder pads, and he just falls apart. Okay, great. Yeah. Feeling a little bit of buyer's remorse here. And, there aren't really a lot of reviews out there for this guy. It took me forever to find one. But by the time I found it, it had already been ordered. And it wasn't really an in-depth thing. It was more, here it is. He had it in a cool pose, and that's about all he did. Damn shoulder ligaments. Alright, so what you do is you press the back of that, and then you can raise these shoulders up. Oh, you can't see, can you? You press the back of his shoulder there, and you raise that up. But yeah, it's extremely hard to just get to the freaking joints in there. And then you have two in the elbow. You press down his green square there, and he can move that. You have a ratcheted joint here. Then you've got to press the underside of the wrist, and you can move the wrist joint. Not a lot, but some. And then the hands, we've got individual joints for all the fingers, all the knuckles, the thumb here. Side skirts still move up and down. He can still rotate. You've got a ratcheted joint in the top knee, and then the bottom knee. You press down on the white thing behind here, and he can still come up and kick his backpack. So all the movement and the knee joint, the leg joints, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna break them every time I move them, those ratcheted ones. But yeah, all the movement is still there. It's just really hard thanks to those locking things. And there's no way to turn them off because they're kind of built into the frame. I mean, you could take the springs out in there, and I'll probably end up doing that just so that he's easier to move, but I shouldn't have to, you know, with the amount of money I spent on this. But anyways, let's go on. The vents in here will move, so that's kind of cool. And the feet. Now let's talk about the feet. In the Master Grade, even the 007 sword, you can bend the foot that way. Well, you can't do that to this guy, because instead of giving you a bend that way, they give you two joints in the foot. So you can bend it there, and you can bend the toe forward. And you can turn on the GN drives. I'm trying to save you guys for last, if you just cooperate. So again, that's nice, but the problem with the feet is that they kind of never go flat flush with the ground. So it's constantly wiggling and toppling over, which is irritating. Very irritating. And these leg joints are so restricted, and he's hard to get into a good pose. And when, you know, you finally do, he'll either topple over or you have to deal with the goddamned locking joints here. Just some other fun parts up here on the backpack. Trying to zoom in. Alright, up here on the backpack, this little blue tab will fold up and push in, and that's where you connect the O-riser. And then you have an LED in the head, which is kind of hard to see in the daylight if you put all the stickers on there, so I left the back sticker off, and you can see some green kind of shining through. I did put these ear stickers in. I'm probably going to take them out, but anyways. And then it comes through that jewel, and it gives it kind of a two-tone sparkly effect. But it's kind of hard to see in the daylight. But, you know, let's see if I can't turn it out and give you guys a little bit better view. That's about all it shines through. But, anyways. Some other new things is that this skirt is separated here at these two things, so it wobbles around a little bit, and the back skirt here doesn't move at all, but it does pop up like that, and it says it's to so that he can come behind and grab his beam sabers. So, all in all, I'm not saying he wasn't fun to build. Not at all. He was a delight. All I'm saying is that while I was building him, I was very afraid of losing parts and putting parts together wrong. And you know what? Really? you're fine with a master grade. You're fine with a perfect grade. I just can't give this guy I can't give him a thumbs up because he's just so hard to pose and he topples over. He's so top heavy. But the one thing that is super cool about this guy is his GN drives. So turn off the lights again, you click those. And if you look, both of them spin. And they get going. See if we can get both of them into the shot here. So they get going. You can hear them go. And that's really cool. You know, that makes up for not all of his mobility problems, but you know, you can get him into a cool pose if you work at it hard enough, and he will look awesome. But you really got to fight it. He's probably on my shelf, honestly, just going to go into a standing pose once I get the O-riser on him. He's probably gonna, and he probably is gonna topple over with the O-riser, but I don't know. I haven't built it yet, so we'll have to figure that out. He does come with, oh hey, right, reposition the camera. And it may be beneficial to turn back on the lights. Alright, so he does come with two GN Sword 2s, and they give you this really nice chrome for the blade edges here. I don't like how they don't connect at the tip there. They kind of look like they're going to come off, but it's okay. But yes, you do get the two GN Sword 2s, and if you twist the blade, bring the blue piece down and the inner handle, you get the same gun thing. You can push this little tab out here and then twist it and mount it onto his skirts. And that's really easy to do. You just slide down a peg in, or I mean a panel in there. And he will hold them nicely. He won't balance with them nicely. And that's the problem here, especially if you have the effect parts on. I mean, look at that. That is huge. And it gets pretty thick, too. And the problem with these guys is they bend really easily. Really easily. They feel a lot more secure than the 1-to-144. I'll give them that much. But, I mean, they just bend. I don't know why that's such a problem, but... or for me, but yeah, they go into that, and then putting these guys into the spear mode is a lot more. You just flip down a tab in here, and there you go. And of course, they do give you two beam effect parts, so you can have the Trans Am awesome-fied look to it. This is going to be a bit of a longer review, guys. Sorry about that. Just gotta put both of them on. Okay. Yes. And you do get the two of them, and it looks rather nice. It's tall. Look at that. It's a big prop. There's no way in hell anyone is displaying him with that unless it's a custom paint job for a show. I mean, that is just ungodly. It's unwieldy how big that is. Really, it just is. But yeah, it can do that. It also has the two guitars here, which you can combine into that shield. Whoops. Although I do find he looks a little bit dorky with it because you can't move this piece here. So I'll never display him with these just because, you know, there are other things to display him with, but they will just clip onto the wings like the 1-to-144. And you do get 2 beam sabers and 2 beam saber handles. They are, again, really thick, and just the amount of clear pink that you're going to get is impressive. It really is. But they will just come around and peg into the butt. Skirt. And hold really nicely. See, he's got to kind of lean against the backdrop. But yeah, you can buy a stand for him, which I would assume is going to alleviate a lot of the balance problems with this guy. But like I said, the balance problems are there. The joint problems, the way they move, it is there. And you have, if you're going to get this kit, you have to accept the fact that you're going to be fighting with him toppling over and him, you know, possibly falling off a shelf and getting hurt. So I can't recommend him. If you are a super model guy and you're going to do something with him and you're going to buy a stand for him, go ahead, be my, you know, obviously you have more talent than me if you can get this guy to stand up easily. But unless you're willing to do work to him to make him pose great and to, I don't, just the way he topples over so easily turns me off to this guy. And that's really disappointing because he was, you know, $260 with shipping. And that's a lot of high grades. That's a lot of master grades even. And I can't recommend this kit. And it's really sad. This guy is a lot better. Get him. Don't get this perfect grade. Get him. Get the master grade. You know? The master grade. It won't take as long, too. This guy has taken me 5 days to do. I know the unboxing came out, you know, a couple days ago, but I kind of pre-filmed that one and saved it on my computer and just got out some other reviews that I was doing on kits, because I know, you know, watching me get stuff out of a box isn't as entertaining, but this guy took me 5 days. And I just could have built the Unicorn Gundam that I have. I could have built the Sinaju Gundam that I have. I could have, or not the Gundam, the mobile suit. I could have done other things with my time and money instead of this guy. And I could have been happier. So I can't recommend this kit. And I feel like I'm talking down to, he looks great. He looks great. His fingers move, everything. He looks great. And if you're going to pose him and set him on a shelf, that's awesome. But he's really, you can get your money's worth with other kits. You really can. So that's it for this review, guys. And I'll see you at the next review. Don't forget to subscribe and enlist in the Mobile Suit Army. One day we will pilot our mobile suits in heaven and destroy bad model kits. Destroy bad model kits, yes. So, I'll see you guys at the next review.